We all have a bucket list of things we want to accomplish before our time is up. This past month, a veteran from Urbandale checked something big off his list with the help of his late friend.
It is the story of friendship, loss, and doing the right thing. Elias Johnson traveled with the Navy vet as he returned to history home aboard the USS Iowa. It's a story you'll see only here on Local 5.
John Pilmer has been anticipating this delivery for months.
This is from Jolene, my buddy's wife down in Missouri.
The same Jolene who was married to John's best friend Dwight for over 45 years.
It arrived this afternoon.
Dwight passed away this past fall, and inside this box, the memories from over
like
5 decades of friendship.
And I used to have a Corvair. This is the same Corvair Dwight had, and I had a Corvair, 65 Corvair at the same time. He had a 65 Corvair.
Both served in the military during the Vietnam War.
He was in the Air Force, and I was in the Navy.
And both had plans to knock items off their bucket list together, including a trip to visit the USS Iowa battleship in California.
Yes, we were. Yep. We had plans on going out to the Iowa.
But plans for that big trip were put on hold after Dwight became sick and ended with his passing last fall. Until Jolene gave John something unique from Dwight's collection during Thanksgiving.
She walked into the kitchen where I was sitting and handed this to me and said, "You need to have this."
The inscription nearly knocked John off his chair.
It is the Terry Steam Turbine Company, Hartford, Connecticut, and it's off the USS Iowa, BB-61.
A sticker on the back showed it was purchased at an antique store in Nevada. But was it real or not?
And I figured who else would be better to contact than Simon Conway.
We are across the great state of Iowa, and this is the Simon Conway Show.
Conway, who broadcasts a daily show on WHO 1040, also serves on the USS Iowa Board of Trustees. And he, too, was taken aback when he received a picture of that plate.
Oh, it was very obviously real to me. Those are the makers of the 4 engines. There are 4 engines on that ship.
That was all the confirmation John needed.
And the first thing I thought of was, I can't own this. I have to get this back to the USS Iowa. And what I want to do is I want to see where this plate belongs down in the engine room, on which turbine.
I've spoken to the Iowa. They're very excited it's coming home. They absolutely, even though the engine rooms are not open to the public, especially for a Navy vet like John, they will absolutely escort him carefully down to the engine rooms. We absolutely will do what we can to help get whatever bit is missing back home.
A few weeks later, along the Los Angeles waterfront in San Pedro, the sailor on a mission to bring a piece of history back home is greeted with a hero's welcome.
Battleship Iowa welcomes John Pilmer, Seaman, United States Navy. Welcome aboard. Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
There's a lot to take in aboard the 887-foot-long warship, but not before meeting Dave Canfield, who served on the Iowa during the 80s, and presenting him with the plate.
The condition of it. That's awesome. It is so awesome.
Along with a brief history on where it came from.
This goes to Dwight.
Dwight's my buddy.
Wow.
You know, it's similar to people who find medals and hunt down the families of the recipients of the medals. It's just the right thing to do, and I'm incredibly grateful that he chose to do that.
News of the plate being returned spreads quickly, and so does the work finding where it belongs.
Yeah, I'm already trying to do a little, we call it detective work, and I'm a little confused about what exactly this was for. It was either for maybe the turbine blowers or for the force draft.
There's only one way to find out. Over 10 stories below, we find ourselves off tour into the engine room.
If I were a betting man, I would bet that plaque came from one of these TG turbines.
There are so many parts to check in this engine room.
Well, these are Westinghouse.
Finding something specific is overwhelming.
It's got to go somewhere
on the turbine side.
And during the search, it becomes obvious a number of plates have been removed, likely taken as souvenirs when the ship was decommissioned.
In my experience, those plates are some of the first things to disappear off the ship. Those are wonderful souvenirs.
Another possibility is the plate belongs on a spot covered by this white lagging, added after the ship was constructed to insulate parts. Either way, not finding the location today doesn't mean the mission is a bust.
No, because the ship's not going anywhere, and the engine room's not going to change. So we will find where that goes. It's just another piece of research that we get to do.
I know that they want to find the home for it, and they will.
In the end, the USS Iowa has another piece of her history back where it belongs. And this sailor got to check one more item off a bucket list, thanks to an Air Force veteran who made sure his best friend didn't miss out on the trip of a lifetime.
He definitely got me out here, and I feel like he's with me. And I know he's looking down, thinking how lucky I am to be able to do this.
From the USS Iowa in San Pedro, California, Elias Johnson, Local 5 News. We are Iowa.